Yo. It's early. It's early. Good morning, everybody up out there. Hit your subscribe button, hit that like button one time for your boy, man. Let me get my drink, man. It's so early in the morning right now. Y'all probably like, oh man, I just got up, man. What are you doing, trucker? It's too early. It ain't never for me. Gotta get going early some days, got the kids and all that running around, especially when you got young ones, man. That's just how it be. But let's talk these bowl games, man. Let's definitely start talking these bowl games. Bowl game picks for the day and all that. And we'll talk about some of the games that happened last night, man. I thought that yesterday's games was kind of crazy. Let me see if I can get that. I don't know if I could share that or not, but because I already got my two screens pulled up. But it's crazy because we seen Vanderbilt beat Georgia Tech. That was a good game. Shout out to Vanderbilt. Finished off their good season, their Cinderella season. Maybe they'll be having another one because guess what? Diego Pavia will be right back next year. He'll be back next year. I think this is a good way for a lot of college football teams to cap off their seasons. Moving into next year, that they'll be able to come in and build off of a win, because this is like starting, for the seniors. This is ending off the year, right? This the end of the seniors year, their last game. They want to go out with a bang. They don't want to look back and say, I wish I would have played in that Birmingham Bowl, Liberty Bowl, Holiday Bowl, whatever bowl it is that you're in. You know what I mean? You don't want to look back and say you didn't play in that game. And then for the underclassmen, the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen that will be coming back next year, this is the beginning of their season. This starts the season off right for them, into winter workouts. We got our bowl game win. Let's go to winter workouts. We now, what I'm saying, and we'll go into the spring. Good. We'll have a good spring. And, when week 0 come, they already ready to rock. They know what time it is, because they played a team that fought hard to be bowl eligible. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting 6 wins in college football is not easy. It's just not easy. And the teams that make it to a bowl game, they made it there by blood, sweat, and tears. These teams dug deep to win these games. Some of them started off on a 4-game losing streak, wind up winning their last 8 games or winning 7 in a row. Some closed out winning 6 in a row. Some guys, had lost 4 games in a row, went on a slump towards the end of the season. However it is, you still bowl eligible, and that's a huge accomplishment. You get a trophy and confetti could roll down on you. So, hey man, shout out to everybody who made them bowl games. But Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, they beat Vanderbilt lost, to beat Georgia Tech. Excuse me, Georgia Tech lost to Vanderbilt is what I'm trying to say. Getting tongue tied here early in the morning, but it's all good though. It's all good. Um, yeah, Pavia had 160 yards in that game, 3 touchdowns. Hayes King had 204 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Pavia also had 17 carries for 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had all 5 of the touchdowns. Whether he threw for 3 and he ran 2 in. He is going to be the staple of that offense for Vanderbilt moving into next year. Pavia is. Um, I'll be excited to be reporting on that and see what's going on with Vanderbilt. See how, if they're going to be a middle of the pack team, if they're going to rise up more than what they are right now. Because finishing off the season at 7-6, or is it 8? 7-6. Okay, it's like, but you're right there. I thought that Georgia Tech probably should have finished a little bit better. But Jamal Haynes had 17 carries, 136 yards in that game. The leading receiver was Abdul Jaheen. Leading receiver for Vanderbilt was Eli Stowers. Shout out to them, man. They played a great game, man. I thought that was a good one that was on. Vanderbilt wound up getting the edge on that game, man. Moving on, but before I get to my UConn and start getting to my game picks, I'm just going through some of the games that came on yesterday. Just kind of quick recap of those games. The Liberty Bowl with Texas Tech and Arkansas, and that was that was a rumble. Arkansas, they look like their future is bright. Texas Tech didn't get the job done. That's another loss for the Big 12. The Big 12 is now 1-2 in their bowl games. Out of all the teams that played, the three teams that has played so far from the Big 12, only one of them has won a game. Um, I don't think that that's good. And looking at the whole conference, but that guy Taylor Green, man, he is going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. 341 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. Had 15 carries, 81 yards, and a teddy to go with that. That kid is he's special. He's going to be special. I hope that they're going to build around him, and it looks like they are, because Desmond James, 3 receptions, 137 yards, and a tutty. They building up something over there in Arkansas. I like to see what they're going to do next year in the SEC with Taylor Green being a little bit more mature, or is it going to slow down where there be like a kind of a sophomore slump for him next year? We'll see. We'll see what's going on, but I think I would like to think that it's looking bright for him over there. Will Hammond, the quarterback for Texas Tech, had 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, turned over the ball twice. Jacoby Williams, the running back, had 15 carries, 123 yards, 1 touchdown. Don't look like they're going to miss Taj Brooks too much with Jacoby Williams doing that. 15 carries, 123, and a touchdown. If Jacoby Williams could keep doing that in the game, I think Texas Tech could be right back where they're at. Caleb Douglas had 5 receptions, 115 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but they finish off their season 8-5, the Texas Tech Raiders, but they lose the Liberty Bowl to the Arkansas Razorbacks 39-26. Shout out to Arkansas. All right. Now, moving on to that, I think there was another one. Syracuse. Oh my goodness, Syracuse and Washington State. Washington State, I think, in the Holiday Bowl. That was a good one. That was a good one. I like that one. Syracuse was down. Washington State looked like they had control of that game. They surprised me. I was surprised with some things that I seen in that game. With their quarterback, the way that their quarterback was able to play, even though I think that Syracuse, their defense wasn't whole, although their offense can score. That team can score. You just have to outscore Syracuse because that offense is just unreal. It just is. Syracuse offense is just unreal. That offense can score the ball. And that's just how you have to beat Syracuse. You got to outscore them. That defense they're building it up. It was the first year, new coaches, new regime in there. And for them to finish off that season 10-3, although last year they did go to a bowl game. I think they were 6-6 last year, 7-5, something like that. And they did go to a bowl game in which I think they lost to USF. I think South Florida put something on them crazy last year. I think it was. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong up there. Fact check, whatever. But they did. But that was last year. We talking about this year now. They balled out. Kyle McCord, man, almost 500 yards in the game. He had 453 yards and 5 touchdowns. And this is why bowl games matter, and they should. And I'm glad, and I'm glad to see a lot of starting players play these games. LaQuint Allen helped his Heisman. That's what I say, Heisman. Listen to me, y'all. Not his Heisman, but his draft stock like crazy. LaQuint Allen had 17 carries, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. That's crazy. And against, you can't say that it's a bad team. Washington State, they played their schedule just like everybody else did. They were 8-4 going into this game, I believe. So they finished off 8-5 because they lost this game. They didn't win it. Syracuse came into this game 9-3. But Kyle McCord, his draft stock went up. I have to talk about it afterwards. Let me just give the stats and I'll kind of talk about it afterwards. The quarterback for Washington State, Zevi Hawkins. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Not gonna try. Excuse me. It sounds ignorant. He had 363 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. The running back, Leo Pelosi, had 14 carries, 61 yards. Leading receiver for Washington State was Kyle Williams with 10 receptions, 172 yards, and 1 touchdown. I gave LaQuint Allen stats. The lead receiver for Syracuse was Daryl Gale Jr. 4 receptions, 145 yards. But that's not the takeaway from nothing that they did, because First of all, I mean, Jackson Meeks also had 5 receptions, 110 yards, no touchdowns. Um, Rondé Gatson had 4 catches for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trevor Pena had 5 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. LaQuint Allen had 3 catches, 45 yards, and 1 touchdown through the air. And to go with his 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely, that helped out everything that's going on with that young man. He's going to be a problem. I think that helped his draft stock like crazy. I don't know if he's going to the draft this year or if he's going to come back. All I gotta do is just like look it up. It's not hard. He's a junior. He can come out, but technically he doesn't have to. Um, he'll probably. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him coming back or anything just yet. I don't know about that, and I'm not going to report on that. Maybe I missed that because I did watch the condensed game of the the condensed version of the game. I did watch it, but the condensed version, no commercials. But so I don't know if he's going to come back or not. So I don't want to report on that, but I will get that to y'all as soon as possible. However, it helped everything. If he wanted to come out, he's one of the best in college. I think he's one of the best running backs in college. Definitely one of the best running backs in the ACC this year. Shout out to LaQuint Allen. Kyle McCord, I helped everything for him. He had the one bad game versus Pitt. I hope that don't um hurt him too much. I don't think it will, but I think at this point you would have to put him up in that realm and say, Kyle McCord could spin that ball. He can spin it. Kyle McCord can absolutely spin the rock. He can absolutely throw the ball. Um, you would question his decision making, but he had to go through a game like that Pitt game, I think, and it was going to help him with a lot, and it did, and it did because ever since that Pitt game, he's bounced back and been playing lights out. 6'3", 220. Kyle McCord coming out this year it's gonna be he's up there. I think he'll if you're gonna need a quarterback in the first round, I think somebody might be thinking about going Kyle McCord. Think that just helped him. And that's good that he did play in this bowl game, man, because he just showed out versus an all right team. Got some good film on him. Almost a 450-yard game, 5 touchdowns. Great game from them. Although they do got some good receivers over there too. Balled out. Shout out to Kyle McCord, man, because I think his game will translate over. I think so, man. Especially the throws he was trying to make in that Pitt game. You go back and you kind of watch that Pitt film of Cal McCord, and you will say, okay, he tried to force it a couple times. But there was some, tip passes or whatever. But you kind of get the feel for what he was trying to do and see what he's doing. And if you could apply that same to these NFL teams, I think that you would think like he'll be all right with some professional receivers. And they have a lot of them at Syracuse. I think that they have a very underrated receiving core or receiver room up there at Syracuse. To be honest, I mean, but they've proven that, and he's shown them that. I know Ohio State I know they might be mad about him being gone. I tell you that right now. For what he's had done this year, the stride that he's taken from last year to this year, I don't think it's too much of a jump. I always seen this in Cal McCord. I kind of did, but he did his thing. He did his thing this year, man. Shout out to him. All right, moving on to the other bowl. Before I get to talking about this little bowl here with UConn and UNC, kind of want to talk about the Las Vegas Bowl, the one that Texas A&M let slip out of their hand, and I think that hurts Texas A&M losing that game, this bowl game because of the fact. I mean, now you're looking at the SEC right now, and let me get they're 4-3 in bowl games right now. They lost to a Big Ten team twice, already. Two Big Ten teams have already beat SEC teams. If you count USC and Ohio State beating Tennessee, that is. All right. American Athletic team has beaten them, and they've beaten the American Athletic and the ACC team, the SEC so far, right? And then obviously them beating the Big 12 team, Arkansas getting a win for them for that column for the SEC. I think that's dope. Um, but yeah, man, Texas A&M, I think they let that game slip out of their hands. It was crazy. It was kind of a very sloppy game, and for SC to win that game in sloppy in a sloppy fashion, the Las Vegas Bowl like that, Matt Villa had so many turnovers in that game. It wasn't even funny. Like I mean, what he had 3 interceptions. Marcel Reed for Texas A&M, the quarterback, what he had 2 interceptions. It's like sloppy game. I'm just keeping it real with sloppy. Or I guess you could say it was offensive sloppy or the defenses came to play. Um, but 35 games were scored over 30 points, over 28 points. So I guess I guess that's kind of average scoring for college, but I would say that that's still scoring. So sloppy game, period. From both teams. I think they didn't play neither team played their best game. I would have liked to seen their best games because even though those turnovers were there, the other team didn't seem to capitalize off those turnovers every time they turned the ball over. And you got to be able to do that to be considered an elite team. And I think that's why these teams this year, it was kind of a reflection of their record and why they ended up in the Las Vegas Bowl the way that they were. You know what I mean? With their records, um, being a Texas, the Aggies being an 8-14, and the Trojans being a 6-16 going into the Las Vegas Bowl. That's there was a reflection of their record. What happened in that game? They didn't. It was very sloppy, man. I mean, I can't even find no other words besides that. Just didn't move the ball. My Via turned the ball over once he got it rolling. They were trying to force the ball too much to Lemon. He tried to force the ball too much to that guy. It was so easy to read him. He stared down his receivers, and he can't do that. He's not in Mountain West anymore. You know what I mean? You cannot do that versus a league competition. But I mean, this is also a game to learn from, and they were able to pull it off in a very sloppy fashion. So, I mean, to be honest, I would have to give more credit to SC with the sloppy game than Texas A&M. You know what I mean? Because Texas A&M at one point in time was sitting on the top of the SEC, ready to go into the college football playoff or possibly be playing in the SEC championship at one time. They just had to win out and they couldn't do it, but they were looking really good. They were looking really good. I want to say it was like around what week was it, week 8 or 9, college football in the season. Texas A&M sitting up there, and then they went on a losing streak. You know what I mean? I mean, it's tough because it's hard to win week to week in college football, and I keep saying that. But they look sloppy. I hope that they're able to fix that going into next season. But I think that they will. Marcel Reed, he does look promising. They keep him at quarterback. Um, and they got to get some guys around him to step up. They got to get him some guys to step up around him. I think that they made some adjustments to that defense. And they did go out and address some of those needs in the transfer portal. Just hopefully those guys hit. It's kind of like the lottery free agency. You know what I mean? College free agency transfer portal. They did go out and address some of those needs. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Texas A&M with a sloppy game. Man, VA gotta stay consistent in the pocket. There was some good play. I thought there was some good play from both quarterbacks. I did see some promising things out of both of them, and they're both kind of young. I guess you could say that. And but my V, I think he should have. I see why Miller Moss had to start in position. Trying to force it too much. He can't play hero ball like that. Just kind of let the game flow. You had receivers out there. You had all year they had Lemon, Jacoby Lane, and Branch and Zachariah Branch. Those 3 receivers, and they possibly could have been the 3 best in the Big Ten, and they didn't wind up being that way. I don't understand how you have those 3 receivers on your team and you're only 6-6. But they did play a tough big. They didn't play an easy Big Ten schedule. I would say that USC SC did not have the easiest Big Ten schedule. They did fight every game, and I have to give it to them because they did pull this off, and now they walk away with this bowl win with not playing their best game. So that right there tells me that SC is moving in a positive direction. It seems to be, and I hope that they do. Um, they're in the Big Ten now. They're going to face a lot of games that's going to be uh, low scoring, if you will, those kind of 28-point games in that realm where they're gonna have to dig deep last second in a fourth quarter and score a touchdown, or be down the whole game and have one quarter of a burst to come through this. That's kind of how Big Ten football's played, and they're gonna have to get used to playing that. But hey, they won the game, man. It was sloppy until the fourth quarter. It seemed like they got it clicking, and they did come back. Defense and offense both came together as a team, and they walked away with the Las Vegas Gold Trophy yesterday. What could I say? All right. Um, so moving on to this game, right? Now I get to talk about UConn and UNC. Now, I don't know if Omarion Hampton is going to play or not. So if Omarion, so I'll make my picks if or not, right? You know what I mean? Because I don't know if he's going to play for a team like this right now. UConn, UConn. I didn't see too many players leave, and UConn was a okay team all season long. UNC kind of they struggled in certain places and certain assets, and but Bill Belichick is there. I want to, and this is kind of like really, like I said, to see what you're moving into next year. They are the home team. If they got Omarion Hampton playing in this game, I'm going to go with North Carolina to win this game. Bill Belichick being down there, being able to be in somebody's ear. I don't know if he'll be coaching today or not. I don't know how that works. That's why they shouldn't move around so much during this. And I don't agree with it. But if I got to pick it and I'm picking a team, I'm going to roll with UNC to win this game. And that is largely if Armarion Hampton and Bill Armarion Hampton's playing. If Armarion Hampton's not playing, I'm probably still going to go UNC to win this game over UConn. All right. I think that they built something nice over there. I want to see what they're doing. And yeah, that's what I'm rocking with that game. So we'll move on to that game. All right. Boston College and Nebraska. This is a chance for Boston College to for both teams to see what they're at with this, right? Nebraska has they lost a lot. I think Nebraska lost a lot. Matt Rule, the way that they're trying to build up over there. Raiola is there. I do want to see what they have outside of everything. But look, it's their last game, and I think that they want to send them off on a good note. Boston College was, I don't know if Robichaux would be playing, but Boston College was just they were different. They were different, and they played at a different level. They really did. It's I think Nebraska players want to send Matt Rule out the right way. And so with that being said, even though Boston College is their total football team, I'm gonna go with Nebraska in this game. Just because I want to see Matt Rule win, not because I'm really sitting down analyzing the game. If I'm really sitting down and I'm analyzing this pick and I'm looking at the picks, I want to go with Boston College is the complete team. I think that they kept it together for a lot of the times. A couple players left Nebraska, but they do got some players there, and they strongly need this game to go into next season and to build on something positive for Nebraska. They strongly need this game, and for that, I'm going to go with them because I think they need this game, this bowl game, more than what Boston College does. You know what I mean? I think Matt Rule needs this win more. Honestly, I just do. It's a lot going on. Is Dylan Raiola going to come back next year? Is some of the key players? I think they're losing one of the receivers, their speed guys, and I just don't like the way that looks over there. I think his name was Barnes or something, but they can't lose that guy. So I think I'm gonna go with them. Let's see what Nebraska's doing. Other Raging Cajuns and TCU. I haven't seen nobody move for TCU at all. Um, it seems to be maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's just this year or not. So I don't want to say this is because Coach Prime said Shador and Travis was playing in a bowl game, and you're seeing a lot of other starters play. But I'm seeing you're seeing a lot of starters playing these bowl games this year. So I don't want to say it's that way, but I'm happy that I am seeing that. You know, these late December bowl games after Christmas bowl games like this. I'm happy that I'm seeing a lot of starters playing. I definitely want to see TCU finish off this year strong. I'm going with TCU in this game. I think the Raging Cajuns is a hell of a football team in their division over there and what they're trying to build up over there. Hopefully they'll keep on going and they'll be able to do, get another good round of recruiting and get some good guys in there to plug and play in certain positions. But TCU is strong, man. And I think that they the way that they were building up over there, man, on that team, passing wise, I mean, you can honestly say like you can probably argue that their quarterback was somewhere in between. Like he was a top 5 quarterback for sure in the Big Ten. You definitely could say that without a doubt. But Jack Beck is a beast, and I think he's one of the best receivers in the Big 12. I want to see what he doing. Um, was it Savion Williams? I think he's gonna show up today like crazy. I want to see what they do, but I also want to see this TCU defense and what they're able to do today. But I think I'm going with TCU. I ain't seen too much movement in the transfer portal with them just yet. So yeah, I'm going with them to win this game. All right. That's what I'm rocking with in that one. Miami, Iowa State, and Miami. this is this pick right here for me, man. It's kind of tough because I picked Iowa State to win the Big 12. It didn't happen. They was close. It was real close, man. They was close to winning the Big 12 though, man. It's not like Iowa State did not they just, were just blown out of the Big 12 cuz they were close. They were there. You know what I mean? They were close. And that's why they're playing outstanding Miami team. Now, when you look at the Big 12, right, and you look at those top 4 teams that finished off in the Big 12, when you look at the teams like we gave Arizona State, BYU, Iowa State, and Colorado, I would say that BYU, Iowa State, and Colorado are very similar, right? I would honestly say that because no, I don't think. I guess you could say they're all the same, but nobody has a Scatterboo. You know what I mean? Like nobody got Scatterboo in their backfield. Like I'm just being real. Nobody has Scatterboo, right? You can say they're all similar, but nobody got a Scatterboo. Sam Levitt, and that's why Arizona State receivers are so open is because of Scatterboo, right? BYU is Ratzliff is good. He's a good quarterback. He is a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's great, but he's a good quarterback. Their running game works sometimes, and sometimes it's not there. So he spreads the ball around. Shador Sanders is clearly the better quarterback in the Big 12. Rocco Beck is a good quarterback though for Iowa State, and I like Rocco Beck. I think Rocco Beck at the preseason, I put him at number 1 to come out. They finished off 10-3, 7-2 in the conference. They were almost right there and winning the Big 12. He's a very good system quarterback. I think that they got a solid defense, and those teams are very similar. Those top teams in the Big 12 are very similar. When you look at those teams, like you could say that they're the same. And I know we're not getting the Cam and Shador matchup, but we are going to get Cam versus Rocco Beck, and Rocco Beck is nothing to sleep on. I hope he comes out today and proves me right, and shows the world, like the whole US today against Miami. Like I'm a good quarterback, good system type of guy. And they put up a good fight. Now, I do think Miami's gonna win. I do think Miami's gonna win this game, but it's gonna be a good game. Now, I will say this, right? Cam Ward, so I'm going with Cam, I'm going with Miami, right? But I gotta say this, and I gotta put this disclaimer for Miami. Miami, Cam Ward cannot, he has to go out there play a flawless game, right? Because this is going to say a lot versus this defense. This is a complete team under Matt Campbell, right? This is a complete college football team. It's going to mean so much for him to go out there, put a good game together, take your check downs, don't force the ball, throw the ball away, live to play another down, live to play another down, man, in this type of game. And because you don't want to get behind on Iowa State. You just don't want to because their defense is good enough to shut you down if Miami's going to get one dimensional. There's no reason why Miami should get one dimensional. They have two good backs back there, Mark Flexer and Damian Martinez, are two good running backs. Miami can go into 12 personnel and beat you. They can beat you in the 12 personnel set. Miami can beat you spread out in 11 personnel. You know what I mean? Like they can do that. Miami can do that. You know what I mean? They can run a spread offense. They can run a jumbo set and beat you. That team is that good. You know what I mean? I believe in Miami. I do. I've seen it. Well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You see you see the tight ends for Miami, Aurora, the other guy, I can't remember his name. You seen young Horton. I think Horton is, I don't know if Horton's gone, but Restrepo, he's just a great playmaker. You see it, it's there. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not just talking out my ass right now. You know what I mean? You actually see it with Miami. So if they were to run, big sets, they would beat you like that. And they can, and they could just run the ball down your throat and it may work. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens today. I want to see how Miami comes out in this game. I do think that they'll probably edge it. I do want to see Cam Ward walk away with the win. Don't sleep on Iowa State. You got to come out. You got to play them. I think we're not getting Colorado versus Miami, but I don't think that this game is going to upset us. I think this is a very similar game to Colorado and Miami playing each other, y'all. I honestly do say, I'm going to say that. Yes, it is. Very similar. There's like no different. You know what I mean? Well, obviously the difference is Shedeur Sanders, but Rocco Beck is close. He's close, man. He's close. And I think we'll see that today. So yeah, that's my pick. That's who I'm rocking with. All right. Rocking with them. Yes, sir. Now, Miami of Ohio gonna be playing Colorado State. I think Miami of Ohio lost their last game, man. I think they got I think they got smashed too. I'm gonna have to check it out, but I think they got smashed by Ohio in the MAC championship game. They did too. It was 38-3. Ohio Bobcats smashed them in that game. And I took Miami of Ohio in that game, thinking that they were actually going to win that game. It's a rivalry game in the MAC. It is. It's not a it's definitely a rivalry game, but they lost big in the MAC championship. And for that reason, Colorado State, they've kind of been, and this the Arizona Bowl. I think these two teams do match up well because style makes fights, but I don't know if they match up too well because I think that Colorado State has a similar team to what Ohio has and can do the similar things that Ohio can do to blow Miami of Ohio out. However, this is their bowl game. So I don't know what Miami of Ohio is going to show up. Hopefully, the Miami of Ohio that is going to show up today is the one I thought that was going to show up for in the MAC championship. Then I think we'll see a good Arizona bowl game. If not, then we won't see it. Colorado State will run away with this win handily. Since I went with Miami of Ohio in the MAC championship, and this is and I'm telling you, this is just what it is. So wouldn't be listening to me if you betting or anything. Saying that I picked them to win the MAC championship and they lost that game in blowout fashion, literally blowout fashion. They got beat by 35, and I picked them to win that game, and they got beat by 35. I see what Colorado State can do. I see what Miami of Ohio do in big time situations. I'm going with Colorado State, man. Yes, I'm going with Colorado State in this game to win this game. What's up? What up, KMS 99? What's up, motivated, dedicated? What's up? What's up with y'all, man? I ain't doing nothing, Sitting here making my little picks this morning. That's all. But I'm going with Colorado State in this game, man. Yes, I am. I'm going with them because Miami of Ohio. I don't know if they stand a chance in that one. In this one, all right. I just don't know what team's going to show up. All right. So yeah, North East Carolina and North Carolina State. Now North Carolina State. I was big on them in the beginning of the year. I do see what the East Carolina Pirates like to do with the air raid and everything. I do think that North Carolina State dug deep towards the end of their season. And although I think they should have been, a middle of the pack, top tier ACC team this year, maybe I was a year off with them with the Wolfpack. So I'll have to see what the Wolfpack is going to do today. I'm hoping they get down to business, man. I'm really hoping and waiting to see the Wolfpack really get down and do their thing, man. I'm a fan of that of that team. I really am, man. I like the Wolfpack. I like the way that they're coached. I like the way that they play. And this is the Military Bowl. Um, East Carolina likes they run that air raid. Concepcion. I don't know if he's going to be moving on or not. I hope not. They do got a young quarterback over there. Um, but I like that team. I like the Wolfpack. I like what they stand for. East Carolina, they were up and down. I would say like if I had to roll with a team to say a team was progressing in the right way, trending in the right way, I would say North Carolina State. East Carolina just haven't been consistent. Um, but this should be a good game. This is somewhat of an in-state rivalry in a bowl game, so we should get a good one with this. And I think that that's where they were trying to get with this picking this game. Maybe not. What do I know? I'm not claiming to know everything, but I am going to go with the Wolfpack in this game to win this game today at 5:45. That's when this game come on. I'm going to roll with the Wolfpack to win to beat East Carolina today. That's what I'm rocking with. All right. Yes, this is a good one. Now we got BYU and Colorado playing in the Alamo Bowl. I know this ain't the game that we wanted to see, but I still think that this is a good matchup though. I think, when it comes to these bowl games, like this they obviously mean something to a lot of schools this year. I talked about that a little earlier. I don't want to really keep repeating myself, but it means a lot to Colorado right now to get this bowl win. It's the last time that Shedeur and Travis and them is going to step on this field. BYU getting here and getting a chance to play against these guys and showcase their talent. I don't know if they're going to be ready. I think that Travis going through everything he's going through and lately, as of late, with the internet and with me included, you know what I'm saying? I think that he get to unwind today. He get to do what he loved to do today. That just takes him away from everything else. You know what I'm saying? But he can't have a bad game today. He can't and I hope that he's not feeling that pressure. He just do what he do. But if he does wind up having a bad game, they're gonna probably put a lot of the stuff that he's been going through on him. But nevertheless, I just think that Colorado's gonna come out with a different attitude today. They're gonna come out on firing all cylinders. That yes, I don't know if Nikhil Hillgreen already transferred to Alabama. I know he's committed to them, and I don't know if he can play in a bowl game or not. And I think they need to do something with that rule because I get why some players leave. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't even think you should be leaving right this time. But anyway, that's another topic, another day I already talked about. But I just don't think that BYU they got everything to neutralize Colorado. Like both teams are the same. This is a mirror match as type of game. Like there's no other like we talked about mirror matches before, but this is literally a mirror match type of game. Can Retzliff keep up with Shedeur? That is the thing. Can BYU's offense keep up with Colorado's offense? If BYU's offense cannot keep up with Colorado's offense, Colorado will run away with this game handily. If BYU keeps up with the way that Colorado scores or neutralizes and scores or Colorado, they'll win. We've seen this time and time again. When you get the ball, when you're playing Colorado, you have to score points. You have to score points. You cannot get the ball against Colorado and end up in empty drives and punting the ball. That will not work. You will not beat them that way because every other possession, Shedeur Sanders will put one together and score on you. Even if he doesn't score in the first drive, the second drive, he's most likely to get at least 3 points or 7 points out of that drive. Every other drive, Shedeur Sanders is like a guaranteed scorer in college football. He's unstoppable. You have to get points or he will eat you up. They got to get to the quarterback. BYU. I know we always see that's the one weakness on that team. We'll see if they fix that or not. We'll see right today if they actually fix that because BYU does a lot of exotic things when they're blitzing. They're a very disciplined team. This is going, believe it or not, we're getting a good football game. I know this is not the one that I wanted to see. Me personally, I wanted them to play Miami or a SEC team, but this is a good football game. This is going to be the best football game today besides Iowa State and Miami. Because Iowa State, I just got finished talking about how they're similar. Iowa State, BYU, and Colorado are the same football team, different quarterbacks. And I think that we're going to see this is going to be a good game at 7:00 today. I think it got the potential to be the best game of the day. I'm thinking Miami or Iowa State, Miami, BYU, Colorado. And I do actually think that believe it or not, I'm hoping to see this Boston College and Nebraska game today be all right too. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? It's Boston College and Nebraska. Who knows how that might be? But I'm going with Colorado, man. I'm going with the Buffs in this game. I think that they can beat BYU. Shedeur and I think he's gonna have a different push today to try to end off his season and cap off his season, man. And Travis Hunter's there, man. Yeah, I know he don't know too much about girls, but that dude know football, man. And when he's on that field, he's a different person, man. He's a different person. Going to be competitive. Hoping it's a good game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said he not playing. Who not playing? Who not playing? Prime said, don't use us gonna leave, huh? Who leaving? See, yeah, that don't work today. You right. That you right, KMS. They gotta come out and ball. They gotta come out and play ball. They can't come out and play around with BYU. If they do, they'll lose this game. And I've said that, but I am I am over. Oh, Hill Green, yeah, Hill Green can't play, right? Hill Green can't play because he went to Bama, he transferred out, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I guess he had to in his case. And I understand, academically, that's why he had to get up out of there because of his diploma or whatever. He trying to go there for his academic, which is smart. You know what I mean? I can't depend on football to take care of my whole life. I gotta have something to fall back on. I like the way that he's thinking, to be honest, that young man. Yeah, man, that's what I said. Like, I'm overall going to go with Colorado to win, but they BYU, man, this is gonna be a good game. It should be a good game today. But you gotta score with that team. And you can't, and yeah, and they can't spot BYU 14. If they come out like if they give BYU the window that they gave Texas Tech, night see you. You know what I'm saying? Night see you. Because these teams are so similar. Once one of these teams, like if you can spot CU 14 points, CU's gonna win, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's the same way with that team. Like, once they get ahead, you gotta get one dimensional kind of. Yeah, it's over. But they're the most. They're very disciplined. BYU is very disciplined. When you watch them, man, on tape, and I'm still getting better with watching film. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't play at the high D1 level or anything, but kind of self-taught and been paying attention to a lot of other people on YouTube and whatnot that do the film and learning a lot more. A lot. I actually learned a lot from Coach Hayes, to be honest. But so I don't really watch anybody else. But that team is so disciplined. Like, they do not go outside of their gap assignments at all. Like, at all. They do exactly what the coach is asking them to do every play. Like, there's no freestyling on that defensive line. If the defensive line is told to crash right. They're all crashing right. They're all hitting their gaps, and it looks so sound on tape. It looks so good on tape because you could just see the way it forms and the run fit just comes together. It's like it syncs together like a symphony. You know what I mean? When you playing all them instruments and it just blends so well, like it just parts like and it go leads right to the linebacker. Like the way that their defense manipulates the offense is you have to see it on tape, man, to understand what I'm talking about. But they're really disciplined, yo. They are. They're a really disciplined team, man. Really disciplined. And keep them penalties low today too, Colorado. Keep them penalties low. I think that they'll be fun. Don't get too excited, Shiloh. Don't get be back there hitting people late and shit. You can't do that against a team like this. Yeah, Louisiana Tech, they got put in this game because Marshall ducked out of the game. And it's happening today. I'm sure this story will come up. I think that people don't talk about that stuff enough, but I'm gonna kind of use this opportunity to talk about it. I've talked about it before, but Marshall's whole team, enough players quit on their team to the point where they cannot play in a bowl game. They just couldn't play in a bowl game because all the players decided to leave off their team, which is crazy to me. Like, why would y'all do that? Why would y'all leave? And I think it was because of the coach or a coach left or something like that. And I don't agree with that neither. Like you got your guys there, finish it off, man. What's one more game? Y'all got one more game left. And Marshall actually had a decent season. I think they were what they're a 9-10 win team. I'm gonna double check right now. What's up? What's going on? What's going on, LMV? What's going on? You said keep the penalties high. She said, "You funny, you funny." Yeah, like I think that Marshall had a good team, a good season. I'm trying to check the record right now, y'all. That's what I'm doing over here in the background. But I think that Marshall had a good season. They had decent 9-win team. Well, they in the Sun Belt, right? Marshall is. Let me double check. Yeah, they're in the Sun Belt. And yeah, man. Yeah, they were 10-3. Marshall was 10-3 this year, 7-1 in the Sun Belt overall. They had a damn good season. Like, and I'm trying to, and I don't get why they left. And if I'm not mistaken, the head coach, right, the coach that left Marshall 10-3, 7-1 in the conference, went to Southern Mississippi 0-8, 1-11 in the conference. They didn't win again. They were 0-8 in the Sun Belt, 1-11 overall. He went to Southern Miss over Marshall. I don't know why. Marshall has history. We all know about, you know what I'm saying, Rand University. I don't know. We all know about Randy Moss going there and Chad Pennington being there. That was probably when that team was Marshall was at his best. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I that's what I know about Marshall. You know what I mean? That's when I ever heard Marshall. First time I heard him, when Chad Pennington and Randy Moss was there. They was putting in work. Putting the world on notice then. But yeah, man, that's crazy that he's there like that. Now I'm like, wow, he went to the worst team in their division, but their whole team quit. They walked away from it. I don't think that's fair, man. I don't think that's cool. But I guess you got to do what you got to do because it's even though me as a fan, I want to see players finish off with their teams that last game, but I can't, like always said, I do see it from the other point of view too, other perspective. Like you want to get ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? You want to get to winter workouts right now. It shows the coaches that you're serious, that you're willing to work, you're willing to build and go through the team and build the chemistry. And it gives you one up. You're not coming in late in the spring, but they do need to move the transfer portal back. That's just what 2 months, man. 2 months. 2 months. That's all they need. Open it up February 8th. Um, and that's it, man. They need to move that thing back. But yeah, I don't. But I do get it. That's why a lot of teams are moving. But I just don't know where the whole damn Marshall team is going to go. I don't know if they're all going to Southern Miss or not. But I'm assuming that's where a lot of those guys went because that's where their coach went. I don't know if they following them or not, or if they just was jumping ship because the coach did. But Marshall did have a good year this year, so we'll see what's up with them, man, and how they roll, man. All right. But yeah, that's it, man. But yeah, that's not it. Chad Pennington saved the Dolphins by scoring more. Elevate. You said off script. Off script. Who sees? You said off script. Who sees Deshaun Watson as a head coach? Deshaun Watson. He's ain't he supposed to be coaching Delaware State up there in the HBCU? I think that's what he's being looked at to coach. I'm picking Army to win this game. I think Army just is going BTA them. And in the words of my guy, the goat. Where you at, goat? I know you, the goat. They about to BTA them these fools. I think so. It's not even going to be close. Army about to dog walk them today. Probably about to break Bryson Daly. Probably about to break a record or something. Today on them. Uh, Straight up. Deshaun, Deshaun Watson going to Delaware State. I think it's dope that a lot of these, um, you know, I want to say well known, but because I don't know, like is Deshaun Watson like super popular? Deshaun Jackson, not Watson, but Deshaun Jackson. Did I say Watson? I'm saying Watson because you type Watson, but I think Deshaun Jackson is going there. Um, is he huge? Is he a celebrity? You know what I mean? Like, is he well known? Like, do you think like he's a household name type of deal? Like, I mean, what would y'all say with Deshaun Jackson? Because I mean, like, I think so. I would think so because I'm a football fan, and I think a lot of us will. But like when you look at it, I think you see guys like I don't know, Randy Moss. We had a whole saying to him. Damn, you got mossed. You just got mossed. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say it with no other name. You can't be like, damn, you just got dejacked. Like no, what? Oh, you yeah, you just got riced. Like nah, nigga, it was you got mossed. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was, like there was a whole word named after Randy Moss. Like he's a beast. Dog. Like, so I mean, but D-Jack though, D-Jack going to Delaware State, I think brings a lot of eyes, more eyes to the school and to that brand that would have been there in the first place. And it kind of make me want to get back into because I used to report on HBCU football, like, and I don't do it no more, but I used to report on it. Not like, what I'm saying, dig into it deep, but like at least, give a quick rundown at other scores, other games. And because you got Eddie George at Tennessee State, and they had a good season. Tennessee State had a good season this year. Um, I can't remember. Did Hugh leave Grambling yet? I think he might have left Grambling. We got Michael Vick at Norfolk State. D-Jack going to Delaware State. Man, that's why I'm saying if Prime would have stayed, man, I'm glad he moved on and got into the Power Five or whatever. But if Prime would have stayed at Jackson State, man, right now, I think the I think the HBCU teams would be trying to move up into like the G5 right now. You know what I'm saying? I think they'd be ready to move up into like the Sun Belt or something like that. And I think that it's not that far removed, and I think that that's where they need to ultimately get the HBCU teams at. I mean, what do y'all think about that? I mean, because I mean, and them for them to move up into Power Five football, what I mean? I don't think they could just straight up move into playing in Power Five. They would have to ease their way in there, like into the Sun Belt or in the Sun Belt and the MAC. I think that they would have to split between those two, or just form their own, uh, you know, um, conference, a G5 conference, but they would definitely have to move in G5, because it's about time for that to happen. That's the only way that I think that those schools are going to, they always been surviving. You always going to get people who's doing donate and is going to take care of the HBCU, but they need to grow, like, because now you seeing like schools like Colorado not adapting, but adopting the HBCU culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they be playing, like they be having battle with the bands now for Power Five. I didn't know they did that. Like that's what they kind of did. Like or do they do that every bowl game or something? Because I never experienced a college bowl game. I never been to one. So, you feel free to donate tickets to Truck and Chubby or buy me a flight ticket to send me to a college football. I never been to a bowl game. I never been to a college football game. You know what I'm saying? Never been to one. I'm gonna probably go to one, but I never been to one. I'm just being honest. But like I was watching the river rally or something for the Alamo Bowl with Colorado and BYU, and they kind of had like a little battle of the bands thing going on, and I'm like, that's HBCU culture, bro. Like, and when you say it leak over into mainstream, you're happy that it's happening, but then you're like, damn, like, but why can't the HBCUs be doing this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of frustrates you, but it's like either y'all was gonna, either you gonna get with the times, move up in the world, or you're gonna get left behind. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what they're saying because you're seeing a lot more of these power teams bring artists on campus during homecoming. They're adopting a culture, bro. They're bringing that culture to the schools, and that's the reason why a lot of the reason why people chose to go to HBCU is because the college experience I hear is just different. From the things that I see, it's just different. You don't experience that nowhere else. You don't go to a school, see nothing but people that look like you. It's okay to be yourself. You ain't worried about that. You got, fraternities full of brothers and what I'm saying, sororities full of sisters. You know what I'm saying? Like the experience is different, bro. It's just different. And you said no one leaves their seats. Everyone's watching that HBCU bands. Facts. 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 And that's what I mean. Like you said checking out watch Doc Holliday, who does all the HBCU. It's a dope concert. And sometimes he'll stream the games. Okay. All right. Yeah, like I think but I think that we really gotta like the culture is there, but they're adopting it, y'all, and they're turning this shit into theirs, and they're the PWI is trying to, and they're gonna, and it's big business, y'all. It's big business. Like, just think about everything that trends on social media. Like at one point in time, like even now, still to this day, largely is because a little black kid. And look, I ain't trying to make this a race thing or nothing. So don't so you know what I mean. All my Caucasian followers do not feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm bigging up, and I'm just speaking real right now. So don't feel no kind of way. I'm just speaking the truth, the honestly. But it was, them dances and stuff. A lot of them Fortnite dances, a lot of that stuff started in the hoods. And now you say it on Fortnite, and you know what I mean? Like the kid or the people that came up with that, they don't get paid for that. Like it's the culture is big business, yo. Big business. Not the culture's big business. We're big business. Like we spend a lot of the money. Like in those schools got to get with it, man. And I remember Des Bryant. He be going off and saying some things, but I agree. I like that type of person. That's who I kind of am. But he needs to when he said that the HBCU need to move up into the mainstream college level, I agree. It's time for them to move up into at least the G5, the Conference USAs, the Sun Belts, the Max, the American Athletics. Like they got it. They got to start getting there, bro. Somehow, some way, bro. They got to get into those, bro. Like I don't. They got to start getting into those because their culture is like it's already at all these other schools. I think it'll help them, and these teams are getting better. The transfer portal will help them survive because the transfer portal is for all sports and it works for all sports. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you can't put a decent team together in at least 3 years. And I get that KMS, like they don't have the facilities, but they can get the facilities though. You know what I'm saying? They can get the facilities, and that's another thing. Like, why don't they have the facilities now? Like, why don't they have the facilities? That's crazy. There be people that be donating big bread, bro, and where does that where do that bread be going? Sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying, like that, and sad, bro. Like the so that's what I'm saying. So it just leads back to what I was saying in the beginning, that if they don't get with the times within like the next 4 to 5 years, bro, the culture is going to be hugely adopted into the Power Five conferences in these schools, and then they just gonna get left in the dust, bro. And we might be seeing them shut down because, like, I mean, you go to those schools for the experience, you know. You go to, and I mean, and for because it gives you a chance to go to college even when you don't got the best grades. You know what I'm saying? When you got a little blemish on your background and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's bad at all. Like, it's just totally bad. But you don't get no more. It's just it's different, bro. And you got to be able to experience it, and they got to move up, man. They got to those facilities got to get the facilities somehow, man, somehow, some way. It can't be that much to build a small state of the art gym. It can't be that much, bro. Because you're seeing Planet Fitnesses, 24 Snap Fitnesses. You seeing gyms being built everywhere, almost every day. There's gym in some kind of city or small town opening up. It can't be that much to get a state of the art gym, decent size, and put it in the school. It can't be that much, bro. Like, I get it, like, the therapy and all that stuff, like, that stuff can come later, like building a therapy pool and, the Olympic size pools or cryo chambers, like stuff like that stuff might come later, but shit, but there got to be somebody around that way. You might got to drive a little half hour or something, you know what I mean, and hit the cryo chamber, but sometimes that's what you got to do, up until they can get that shit there. Got to win first, but I think they need to really think about moving up. And it's just me. Like, I would like to see them move up. I would like to see the HBCUs move up into that, that realm, because there's a lot of teams that can, and maybe, and just maybe, they condense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it'll hurt them to condense, to bring some of the schools together. You know what I mean? Take 2, 3 HBCUs and put that into one school. One name, one school, all that money, then you'll be able to build the facilities, like, but how we are, though. You know how we get, how we be getting sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we be getting feeling some kind of way about certain things, and we can't come together for shit. We can't come together to try to play a game of spades, let alone come together to build schools, you know what I mean? Or, combine schools, You're right. The why isn't the money making it back into the program? Like, you right. I don't know. I would like to, we would like to see what's going on. Like, I would like to see what's going on with that, but man, like, that's huge, man. I want to see that happen one day for the culture, man, because it's there, y'all. It's already here. It's been there, and you're just seeing it more and more and more every year. You're just seeing more of it and more of it and more of it. Like, Colorado's homecoming, um, was just like it was HBCU culture all up there. Period. Lil Wayne came up there. You know what I mean? Had a couple of open shows, booths. Like, that's you know what I mean? Like, they didn't know nothing about that shit. Like, they homecomings was corny. You know what I'm saying? Big, like, like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. They was playing hip hop shit. Like Colorado don't be playing no hip. Like we talking about Boulder, Colorado, and I ain't dissing the team, but I'm about Boulder, Colorado, where they was playing like at the little battle. They had their little battle with the bands, like I said, at the little what was it called, the River Valley Alamo Bowl, whatever, where they was calling out the team on their little boats. They screaming and yelling. The bands was playing against each other and shit. Like I'm like okay, but I'm not. But then I start thinking like, damn, like. You funny, LV. You funny, man. You funny. Got me crying. You gonna have me crying over here early in the morning, yo. You gonna have me crying. You gotta be crying, man. You gotta be crying early in the morning. But for real though, man, like I don't know, man. It's crazy though, but I don't want to say it go down that way. But I'm definitely keeping track of the saying what conferences come out with the most wins. Um, definitely keeping track of that right now. Um, the ACC got one. They needed that win. They're 1-5. They definitely got one win. Syracuse helped them get that one win column, which is crazy to me. You got the Sun Belt. I think right now the American Athletic got the most wins right now, 4-1. The SEC 4-3, MAC 3-2, and I'll probably be coming up with an update tomorrow for sure. And more updates and everything. I appreciate everybody who came through today. Shout out to LNV in the chat. Shout out to KMS. Shout out to Motivated Dedicated. Shout out to everybody who came through in the chat. That's all I see so far. I know it's early in the morning. I know there's more people out there watching because I could tell. But hey, I appreciate y'all for watching me, man, and listening in, dog. To the next one, y'all. Peace. Stay up. Enjoy them games today too. All right.